Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tammy.
And we're the co-creators of Rise Gatherings, retreat experiences for women. And this is Rise TV. Today, we are privileged to be sitting here with Ilia Stranko, who will be a facilitator with us at the 2020 Weekend Getaway. Ilia is an intuitive guide and the owner of Spiritually Curious.
That's right.
Today I want to ask you an important question.
Okay.
And this is framed around how to bridge our spirituality with our reality and to see how the spirituality can support our everyday reality. Something that I know most people experience is anxiety. And we know that as a prevalent illness today,
Yes.
to any degree that we experience it. So what do you suggest people can do as far as approaching something like anxiety from the realm of spirituality?
The first thing that I always recommend is actually getting support, right? You really can't, or you shouldn't try any of these things on your own without support. So whether that's through a therapist or seeking out a spiritual counselor or a spiritual guide like myself, having all of those supports in place are really important, because as you work with anxiety, it shifts and you're going to go through have different experiences. So you want to make sure that you have your kind of team with you too.
I never really thought about spirituality like having a team. I almost think of, when I think of my own spirituality, that it would be my own individual sense of spirituality. But that was a really interesting perspective that you just gave, was to be with my spiritual self, I actually need support.
You need support and community, because usually it's the thoughts that begin wrapping around in your mind. It's the stories that we tell ourselves over and over, and that will cue your anxiety. Right? So knowing that you can identify, I call it a trigger, you can identify that trigger and you can maybe reach out to a friend or schedule a session or have regular sessions ready in place, so that when your anxiety is getting heightened, you have a plan to work yourself through it, so that it gets a little bit easier.
So how do you bring that spiritual lens to partnering with someone or empowering them around supporting anxiety or anxious feelings?
Yeah, so everything that I do, I'm an energetic-based practitioner, so I'm always considering your energetic body. That's where the work that I do lives. And the connection between that is again within our mindset and within our thoughts. And so much of that connection we can create in a spiritual way, creating that connection to ourselves and really learning how to listen to ourselves. Because what I've found is that when people come in, they usually come in because they're feeling anxious or they've been diagnosed with anxiety or something like that. And then when we start to peel away the layers, what I've come to learn is that a lot of that is coming from a place of no longer listening to our intuition, no longer listening to our higher self. And when we're not doing that, we're creating a disruption, and we physically start to feel it. And when we do that over and over and over, and this could be years of doing that, where we're not listening, we're not following what we're meant to be doing, and we're living out of alignment, right? And then it becomes a physical symptom, a physical pain, that shortening of breath, that tightening in your chest, all of those physical symptoms let us know that something is out of place, or that we're not moving in the direction of ease, we could say.
That resonates with me, with Tammy, I'm sure, to some degree, and that it's not always just up to us, we can receive support, and by receiving support, we can support ourselves. We support ourselves in our overall health and well-being. Yeah. And I have to relate this to Rise. I mean, that's why we're sitting here right now.
That's how we met.
But that is our intention, and that is our intention, to bring women together, not just the women who attend Rise, but women like yourself, to be resources for women, to offer that type of support.
I was thinking that too. When we think about our culture has given some really positive messaging and knowledge around physical strength and physical agility.
Yes.
And when you talk about spiritual, whether someone wants to call it spiritual or emotional or their soul or just that little voice inside of you that says, this is me,
Yes.
that strength and that agility is something that we can also look at, practice, and get guidance on.
Absolutely.
I think that's really very cool and very much what the mission of Rise Gatherings set out to do.
And I always like to explain to people that creating this connection, it's really like building a muscle. It's like going to the gym. It's like any other form of exercise. The more that you practice, the stronger that it becomes, and the easier it is to feel that connection, and also to feel when something's not quite right, right? Because our energy and our energetic body is always communicating with us through those physical symptoms. So the more that you practice, the more that you learn about our energetic centers, that are our chakras, then the stronger that you become, and the easier that the work becomes that you're doing.
Your whole self.
Your whole self. It's the next system that we just don't have a conversation about in our culture. We don't talk about our energetic system. We talk about our circulation. We talk about all of our other symptoms of our body, but we don't talk about this one. And it's really important.
It is. And here we are talking
and
about it.
here we are talking about it. So.
Well, thank you, Ilia, for being with us today to have the conversations. That's what Rise TV is really all about. And also, you mentioned the chakras.
Yes.
And I have to say that women can have the opportunity to learn all about that with you at the Rise Gathering Weekend Getaway in 2020. And we appreciate you being here. How about you tell everyone how they can connect with you and work with you?
Sure. So you can find me online at iliastranko.com. You can also find me at spirituallycurious.com. And I have a private practice in Philadelphia if you would like to work with me one-on-one. And I also do online sessions. So fabulous.
Thank you, Ilia.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah, big hug.